I mean, you saw the thumbnail, right? So in this video, I'll make a huge quarry. Let's go! This is the 8th video on this channel, so at this point all of you should have the order down. Step 1. Location. Quarries are not world eaters. They collect the blocks while a world eater just blows them up. Meaning the location is based on what natural blocks you want. For most cases, this decision ends up being a mesa, since there are tons of terracotta blocks which you'd have to mine manually or trade otherwise, both methods being significantly slower than using a quarry. As long as your computer can handle it, a quarry can be made faster by simply increasing its width, because it doesn't increase the time to mine one layer. This mesa is pretty much perfect, and there's a huge chunk of terracotta right in the middle. Due to Minecraft's terrain generation, the top is almost perfectly flat, making it great for quarries since you don't have to remove tall mountains. Before I can start in the trenches, I actually have to stack the quarry to my desired size first. I'm going for roughly 530 blocks in width, which is just enough to surround this mountain. Step 2. Trenches. God, I really hope this is the last time I ever have to talk about trenches. Quarries need 3 different trench types. Number 1. The big boy trench for the quarry itself. Number 2. Side trenches, because the TNT doesn't reach far enough to make space for the quarry itself. And lastly, number 3, a bottom trench, only required for quarries since they need to break gravity blocks and collect the exploded items with a huge water stream. Time-lapse time. Making that smooth trench was satisfying as heck, and you better believe I collected the diamonds from the tunnel wall. Step number 3. Building the quarry itself. I need to gather quite the material list for this one. 128,000 blocks to be precise. Most of it is stone, but it's still going to take a while to collect. Montage! Before I start building the quarry, I'll also collect materials for the storage, because storing 60 million items can be quite the challenge. I did some testing before, obviously, and this is one hefty list. Millions of deep slate, stone, terracotta and so much more. I used a lot of normal box loaders and some mixed box loaders as well, for any items that didn't make it. Most of these are 6x hopper speed, apart from some 2x hopper speed filters for less common items, like diamonds, amethyst, you get the point. In order to make the time-lapse even more epic, I'll explain the quarry before I build and run it. Every layer this stone wall gets pushed forward by 1 block. Once the push limit has been reached, some blocks stick out and get pulled back by these flying machines. In order to prevent destruction of the wall, a water curtain is dropped from the sky and the TNT dupers fly up while shooting. Hence the name, Vertical Duper Quarry. The blocks get destroyed and drop down into a collection system, bringing the items to the storage. By pushing the wall with each cycle, you get rid of any liquids, so there are no floods. At the bottom you can find a platform of slabs to destroy any falling block, like gravel or sand. Lastly, this design is extremely lag efficient, running at around 20 ms/t on my machine. That also explains the huge moving roof to prevent light updates. Now this is seriously the last step before I can build and run the quarry. Every chest, spawner, obsidian and rune portal needs to be removed by hand, because those blocks obviously can't be pushed. If you want to make a quarry like this for yourself, please check out JKM's Ultimate Quarry tutorial, it's linked. He explains every step of the process way better than I ever could. Another huge thanks goes to Desu and Javierto Zerrado for designing this beauty. Now, finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, I hope you enjoy. Just like that, every big project of stage 1 is completed. There are a few smaller projects that weren't quite big enough for their own video, so next month I will actually upload the last video of stage 1, explaining the stages, the future plan, and still giving you some awesome time-lapses to check out. That video also marks the end of a 13-month grind, but just the beginning of this adventure. It will release on the 1st of October, but I've already finished it, meaning there's early access for dirt cheap Patreon supporters if you're interested. If things go well, I should have started streaming again, and for the next few months I will build every farm and collect millions of blocks for my Megabase. That's stage 2 by the way. If that's the case, it will also be linked. Statistics, boom. Cinematics, boom. Video, done.